You know the feeling. You pick up your phone feeling perfectly fine. You scroll for 10 minutes. Someone's new house, someone's perfect body, someone's dream job, and you put the phone down feeling a little smaller than when you picked it up. Nothing in your life changed, but somehow you feel like you are falling behind. This video is about that quiet, sinking feeling and about why your brain does this to you, even when your own life is going just fine. So let's start with the machine behind it. In 1954, a psychologist named Leon Festinger noticed something simple and strange about people. When we have no clear way to measure ourselves, we do not just guess, we look at other people. He called it social comparison. How smart am I? How well am I doing? How good is my life? The brain cannot answer those in a vacuum, so it finds someone nearby and checks itself against them. Which means comparison is not a character flaw or a bad habit, it is a built-in tool. Your brain uses other people as a measuring stick, automatically, to figure out where you stand. And for almost all of human history, that tool worked beautifully. To see why, we have to look at the world it was built for. Because that world was tiny. In 1992, a scientist named Robin Dunbar studied the size of the social groups our brains evolved to handle. The rough number he landed on was around 150 people. We should hold it loosely, but the point is clear. Your mind was designed to track a small, familiar village. A few dozen faces you saw every single day for your whole life. And in that village, comparison had a real job. In 2012, a researcher named Cameron Anderson found that what actually drives how good we feel is not our income or our wealth. It is our standing in our immediate group. He called it the local ladder. The respect and admiration of the people right around you predicted happiness far better than money did. So the brain asks one ancient question, constantly. Where do I rank among my people? But here is the thing about that question. It is not about how much you have, it is about where you sit compared to others. In 2010, a researcher named Christopher Boyce tested this with data from thousands of British adults, and the result was striking. What predicted a person's life satisfaction was not the actual size of their income. It was the rank of their income, where they placed on the ladder compared to everyone else. Someone earning plenty could feel poor if the people around them earned more. Which means your brain does not really care what you have in absolute terms. It cares where you stand. You could have everything you needed and still feel like you were losing, simply because someone nearby had more. This is the deep wiring underneath envy. It is a rank detector, always running. And this ranking is not just a feeling in your head. It can reach into your body. In 1978, a researcher named Michael Marmot studied thousands of British civil servants, all working in a clear ladder of grades. He found something disturbing. The men in the lowest grade had over 3 times the rate of fatal heart disease as the men at the top. And this held even after accounting for smoking, blood pressure, and cholesterol. Being lower on the ladder was, in some measurable way, dangerous. Status is not only a mood, it can shape health itself. So put all of this together. You inherited a brain that constantly measures your rank against the people around you. Because for your ancestors, your place in the group genuinely shaped your life. In a village of 150, this was manageable. You could actually be the best storyteller, or the strongest hunter, or the kindest friend. There were only so many people to compare yourself to. But then we built something our ancestors never imagined. We built a glowing rectangle that fits in your hand, and on that rectangle, the village of 150 became a crowd of millions. Suddenly, your ancient rank detector was not comparing you to the people in your camp. It was comparing you to the entire planet, all at once. And it gets worse, because the crowd on the screen is not random. In 2014, a researcher named Erin Vogel studied what happens when people scroll through social media. She found that we overwhelmingly compare upward. We look at the people doing better than us, not worse. And the more people did that, the lower their self-esteem dropped. The feed is not a fair sample of the world. It is a highlight reel of everyone's best moment, stacked end to end. Which means the arena your brain now competes in is impossible to win. You are not being measured against your neighbors anymore. You are being measured against the most beautiful person you have ever seen, the richest, the most successful, the most talented, all at once, all day. And every one of them is showing you their single best moment while you live inside your ordinary one. You are watching 1,000 highlight reels and quietly comparing them to your own behind the scenes. That was never a fair fight. It was never even the same kind of thing. But is this comparison actually harming people, or does it just feel that way? In 2013, a researcher named Ethan Cross tracked young adults for 2 weeks, texting them throughout the day to ask how they felt. The pattern was clear. The more they used Facebook between 2 check-ins, the worse they felt at the next one. And real face-to-face time with friends did not cause this at all. It was specifically the scrolling, the watching, the comparing that quietly pulled their mood down. And this is not just one study. In 2023, researchers gathered nearly 50 experiments on upward comparison on social media, covering thousands of people. When they combined it all, the effect was consistent. Looking up at others online reliably lowered how people felt about themselves, their bodies, and their lives. The effect on any single day is modest, but it is real, and it repeats, scroll after scroll after scroll. So this is the glitch. You are running ancient village software in a world of infinite strangers. Your brain was built to ask, am I doing okay compared to my people? But now it is answering that question by scanning millions of hand-picked strangers and concluding, over and over, that you are somehow behind. Even the most successful people feel it. That nagging sense that everyone else knows something you do not, that you are secretly not good enough, that you do not really belong. In 2020, a researcher named Dina Bravata reviewed dozens of studies on that exact feeling, often called imposter syndrome. She found it was strikingly common, but she also found something important. The reported numbers were all over the place, from as low as 9% to as high as 80%, depending entirely on how you measured it. So we should be honest here, this feeling is widespread, but it is not some clean, universal law. It is a pattern, showing up again and again in people who, by any outside measure, are doing perfectly well. So what do you actually do with this? You cannot delete a brain function that took millions of years to build. The rank detector is not going anywhere. But you can understand what it is doing, and you can change what you feed it, because the feeling of falling behind is not a fact about your life. It is the output of an ancient tool pointed at a target it was never designed to handle. Because the people in your feed are not your village. They are not the 50 faces around your fire. They are a scattered crowd of strangers, each showing you one polished sliver of a life you will never actually see. Comparing your whole, ordinary, messy existence to that is not being humble. It is comparing two things that were never the same. You are measuring your inside against everyone else's outside. So the next time you set your phone down feeling smaller than when you picked it up, remember what just happened. Your brain did not find the truth about your worth. It just ran an ancient calculation in a world gone strange and handed you a number that means nothing. The feeling is real. The measurement is broken, and the only ladder that ever really mattered was the small, close one, made of the few real people who actually know your name. Not the millions on the screen, the handful at your table. That is the village your heart was built for, and it was never as far away as the feed made it feel.